How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. I'm DJ Justice, and what we're going to talk about today is backup and redundancy, specifically your backup vehicle. Now, I know we have a lot of backup and redundancy built into our planning and our systems as DJs. We've got backup speakers, we've got backup controllers and laptops, and even a backup DJ. But what most of us don't think about is a backup vehicle. You know, let's face it, mechanical problems happen, and the last thing you want to do is be late for a wedding. I've never experienced it, knock on wood, and I hope that it never happens, but as a way to prevent that from happening is to be proactive and to institute a backup vehicle into my planning and system. So how do we get a backup vehicle? If you got one at home, that's great if your vehicle breaks down in your driveway or in front of your house. But what about when you're halfway to a gig in middle America, some town that nobody's ever heard of? You're 30 miles away from your gig and you got an hour to get there and set up and all that. What do you do? So I started thinking about these things, and the first thought that came to me was a U-Haul. And I was like, I'll just grab a U-Haul truck, throw all my gear in that U-Haul, get to the gig. The good thing about U-Haul is you can return to a destination other than where you picked it up from. So that's great. That works out. That's a pro. But a con is you got to get to the U-Haul. Your vehicle just broke down. How do you get there? You know, maybe you can call, and I don't know if U-Haul even comes to you like some rental car places, but U-Haul's certainly big enough. Depending on what you get, you can even get a trailer for $15, but that doesn't help because you need your car to attach it to it. But getting to the U-Haul is the problem. You're already broken down. So I quickly nixed that idea. So the second thought that came to me was, you know what? I'll just call a tow truck, right? Tow trucks are great. They come to you, they'll tow your vehicle to the facility. You get them to drop you in a parking spot. You don't have to leave your car on the side of the road, and you can deal with getting your car repaired after the gig. Or you can even make a deal with the tow truck driver and say, hey man, I'm doing a wedding, you know, maybe you can pick me up and tow me home after this event is over for a few extra dollars. But maybe that works out, maybe that doesn't work out for you. So that's a pro. The con with the tow truck is that the waiting. How long does it take? If you've ever been broken down somewhere or waited on a tow truck, you know, it could be 15 minutes, it could be an hour. It's already a weekend because you're doing a wedding. So maybe there's multiple calls. So and maybe you're in a town that doesn't get, you know, I don't know, many tow trucks, maybe many people break down. I don't know. But the point is you have to wait on a tow truck, and that could throw a monkey wrench in your planning if you need to be at this wedding facility at a specific time. So I was like, okay, that's not a perfect plan. What's next? An Uber came to my mind, specifically an Uber XL. Why? Because the XL is probably going to be a large SUV, can probably accommodate all of your gear, if not everything, the essentials that you need to get through the wedding. But believe me, if it's me, I'm packing all my gear because I'm not leaving empty gear, and I'm not leaving my car with gear in it unattended. Never gonna happen, no way. So an Uber XL, I thought, great. Ubers don't take very long to come. I've never waited an hour for an Uber. They're usually, especially if you're in a metropolitan area. I'm in the DMV area, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia. I almost forgot where I'm from. But yeah, I'm in Southern Maryland, Waldorf to be specific. So most of my weddings are in the Northern Virginia area and the Washington, DC area. And there's Ubers are not short. There's no shortage of Ubers going on. So the Uber XL, you don't have to wait, and the guy can just, you know, put all your stuff in his trunk. I would probably let him know up front through messaging, hey, I got a bunch of gear, I need an empty trunk, I'm going to a wedding. You pack all your gear in this guy's truck. Hopefully he's there 15 minutes or so. You get right back on the road, get to your wedding, and no one is the wiser. You know, no one knows that you were late, and all is well. And you have to worry about getting your car back home some other way. You know, maybe during a lull in the evening, during dinner time, or after the ceremony, you can make some calls, get a tow. Maybe you can call your wife, side chick, brother-in-law, whatever your jam is. You get the point. Or maybe call that Uber driver and say, hey man, can you give me a ride home? Can you be back at this time? Or call another Uber XL. Or you get what I'm saying. You get home the best way you can. You deal with the car later. Deal with the car later. I mean, unless you've got some brand new luxury vehicle, I don't know. I just don't put that much stock in my vehicle. I'm like, it's a mode of transportation. I'll leave it on the side of the road unattended and get it towed, when I can. So those are my fixes that I'm trying to be proactive in implementing, because I just don't think lots of guys and girls in the DJ world think about a spare vehicle. We're always planning for backup equipment. We're always assuring our clients that, this is our plan in case it rains, or in case there's COVID, or in case, there's a power outage. But what about the backup vehicles? Because none of us are immune to a mechanical failure. It's just the nature of the beast. You can't help it when your laptop crashes. You can't help it, if a speaker blows. When it's at end of life, it's at end of life. So you don't want to be the one to be late for someone's wedding. And I know when I'm late, which, knock on wood, I've never been late for a wedding. But when I'm late for anything, it throws a monkey wrench in my operation. Like, everything trickles downhill. I know it's probably going to affect, my song selection and the way I program music, because I'm trying to rush and play catch up again. You just don't want to let that be a barrier to your success of the evening. So that is my tip. Be proactive. Again, I'm DJ Justice. You guys can catch me all over social media, but specifically on Instagram at DJ Justice, DJ_Justice_spins, SPINS. So if you guys have any questions, you can hit me up. You can hit me up on my Gmail. It's djjustice_spins@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer any questions or give any tips or advice. And I'll see you guys next time. Keep spinning.